Welcome back, good people. I'm your host, Josh.
And this is your boy, Tony.
And this is King's Chat. You know what we about to talk about. There's been a whole lot of craziness going on around the world.
That it has.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about, the Shedeur Sanders situation.
The NFL draft. Okay.
Man, the NFL they out here wilding, bro.
They're doing whatever they want.
They out here wilding. I don't know any other way to say it.
Yeah.
It's like all of them. Like all of them in cahoots.
Collusion? What does that mean?
Man, whatever it is, it's solidarity.
Well, I mean, what do you mean they in cahoots? Collusion about what? Let's make it clear to the people, Josh. What are you talking about exactly?
Shedeur Sanders, who is extremely talented.
Extremely.
His father is Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm. Prime time.
So he inherited a very high level IQ for football.
And athletic ability.
Right, and genes.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy that this dude went so late in the draft.
Well, what you think may be the reason why he went so late in the draft?
Man, first, like I said, the collusion. And then, in the words of my friend Bubba Dubs, a whole bunch of trash people went ahead of him.
But why would
trash?
Why would there be a reason, you think, to not draft him as high as everyone thought for the most part he was going to be drafted?
This was, and this is just my opinion.
Speculation.
Right.
Okay.
The powers that be wanted to put him in his place and let him know you can't come up here acting any way that you want to. We don't care that your daddy is Deion Sanders. We don't care if you think you're special. Mm-hmm. We're going to put you in a place when you come here. This is our program.
And you got to get in line for the most part.
Make you play ball.
Okay.
Make you play ball.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have NIL deals. You might have a social media channel that's jumping. We don't care nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you come to this league, it's what we say. And
Got
so
you.
just watching it was agonizing. Like, because I follow him on social media and that sort of thing. You know, him and his two brothers. And, like, I follow them because they're funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how they do the impersonations of their dad and that sort of thing. And so that whole family dynamic and relationship with them and their father, you know, I like that. And then, like I said, on top of it, they're funny. And so they create some pretty cool content. So that's why I follow them. But I've been watching the last few days with this NFL draft. And after the first round went, and they were like, oh, he didn't go first round.
Mm-hmm.
And then certain teams were like, oh, for sure, we're about to turn our ship around. It's about to be good now. We're about to get a good quarterback. We're about to get some talent.
I was going to say, let it be known, there's plenty of teams in that first round that drafted that needs a quarterback. So,
facts.
Okay.
And so
continue on.
One of the most memorable ones that I saw was there was a Steelers fan. And he was at home in front of his TV. His family was recording. He was like, oh, this is the moment. We're about to get the quarterback, and we're about to be good like we're supposed to be. And he was so let down. Man, when they announced whoever they picked.
The defensive lineman from Michigan, which is another whole interesting story in regards to him. I think Mason Graham. I'm not for sure, but
I had to get his name, but I was more so like shocked by the video because like it was easy to buy into. Okay, we're gonna make a decision that's good for us.
Who
and after they said their draft pick,
Steelers.
You can see it in his heart. It said, dum, 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 dum.
Let's see. The Steelers selected.
He was so sad. And so a bunch of teams passed like that. And I'm like, y'all want to make this point so badly that you're willing to let your teams suck.
Mm-hmm.
Mason Rudolph, he's trash.
Beyond.
Trash. Y'all going to keep him?
I'm sorry. Derek Harmon was the draft pick for the Steelers.
Yeah.
The first round draft pick.
And so,
from Oregon.
You know, there's a whole bunch of people like that just passed on this great quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had better options.
I think what you're getting at too, to a certain extent, is that the NFL's message to Deion and his son was nobody's bigger than this shield.
Yeah.
And I saw a video earlier today by the one Gilly, to a certain extent, explaining what we really
Dealing with.
are dealing with. So let's go ahead and bring that up. Let's see. There we go.
All right, let's hear from.
So as you watch this video, you guys tell us what you think in the comments as well.
To all my folks out there, right? I just want y'all to know that when you're a black man in America, right, sometimes you get reminders. You know what I mean? As a successful black man in America, I often get reminders. And in the Shedeur Sanders situation, this is just a reminder that you can do everything right in life. You can come from a good family. You could be a good student. You could be a God-fearing kid. You could be a hard worker. You could beat the odds. Your dad could be a Hall of Fame player, and you can beat the odds because not too many Hall of Fame players have good kids. So you can beat the odds. You can beat, he ain't his daddy. You can beat all of that growing up. But you still get a reminder that you just a nigga, man. That's it. You just a nigga. We sitting here looking at a public execution going on right in front of our eyes. Where it's like, we just got to remind you that you just a nigga.
Man, like him saying it that
Bluntly.
like I felt something.
Yeah, you do.
I felt something when he said
You
that.
do.
I felt something when he said that. Like that really just speaks to like some old country stigma. Like this is still America.
It is. And see, this is the thing in regards to that, where I'm not going to even say you try to talk about it to the other race, they don't have a full understanding of where we come from in regards to the feelings that Gilly is, trying to make known. It's just the fact that when you've been treated that way since your inception into this country,
Yeah.
and as he said, we've come, it seems, so far in time to when we first got here to see things play out the way that they are playing out. And it's an issue in regards to race. And then you have people like, well, how can you say that when the first 3 people that got drafted were black? Yeah, that's a fact. We understand that. But let's say 2 things can be true at one time.
At one time. And I think when you talk about 2 things being true at one time, right? And you have people who say, oh, no, it's not racism. It doesn't have to do with that. It's the fact that he's Deion's son. He has an attitude. He's arrogant. He's this, he's that. He's not tall enough. He's whatever you want to insert in that space, right? Like, it is that. But people don't want to say that it's 2 things.
2 things, right?
Like, we also recognize.
There you go. It is the admission of people that it could be 2 things. Mm-hmm. 2 things can be true at one time.
And I think what's
that's
so
a hard
frustrating
concept for a lot of people to get their head around too.
Yeah. And I think it's simple, though. It's like, we're all 2 things. Like,
Good and evil.
I'm a father and a brother.
Yeah.
That's not hard to understand.
Yeah.
I'm good and I'm bad.
You got some good sides about you and some bad sides about you.
It's like, how difficult is it to understand this, that there's some racist stuff that happens as well as what the stuff is on the surface.
Yeah.
Like when he said, at the end of the day, you just
Because in contrast, when you bring up the situation as far as with Archie Manning and how he was able to orchestrate making sure his youngest son at the time, Eli, went to a team that they desired. Well, when Deion made that comment a year ago,
saying my sons will not play for certain teams,
I think that set in motion them like, oh, really? Is that how you think this gonna play out?
Man.
Watch. And here we are.
Here we are. Well, I'm gonna continue to let Gilly talk. Gilly, if you see this, man, we should do a podcast together.
Say shout out $1 million worth of game.
$1 million worth of game. Saw Wallow during when I was in Philly for the Super Bowl. So I'm in the airport. He was walking like he was on a mission too.
Hey man, got to get to that money. $1 million worth of game. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
There's no other way to look at it. There's a lot of black analysts on TV, but they got to keep it corporate. They can't say what it is. They can't. They got to keep it corporate. I just think this unbelievable. It's just no. Sometimes, as a black man in America, you get reminded that you just a nigga. Don't matter how much work you put in. Don't matter. None of that don't matter. You got to understand. I arrived at a hotel in Boston, right? And I get to the front desk and I say, is there any way I could get a suite? And this lady look at me and she say, I'm sorry. She didn't press one button. She says, I'm sorry, it's no suites in the building. They're all sold out. As she's saying it, a white man is walking out the back. As she say, Gilly, oh man, I love you. Man, I love what you do for the community, man. You're a great guy. She hand me my room key. I get up to my floor. When the elevator opened, the white guy's on my floor. And he says, Gilly, I don't know why she told you there's no suites available. Every suite in the building is open, Gilly. Come back downstairs, man. We're going to put you in a suite.
Wow.
But it was just a reminder that you just a nigga. That lady looked at me and said, there's no suites. Before I make this hotel thousands of dollars, I would rather your black ass not be in a suite. So in life, you get reminded sometimes that you just a nigga. No matter how much work you put in, how much good you do, no, you're just a nigga.
Man.
Yeah, and again, I think that is clearly.
Gotta put this back, Tony. Man.
As I said, I think that's clearly just another sign that that's the message that the NFL wanted to send, because I can't call it any other way.
Me either. Like when I was watching, it was very reminiscent of Kaepernick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a talented quarterback. He's proven that he can play at the level, but because he said some things that
He got on the owner's bad side, plain and simple.
because he said some things that were tough conversations, the man never played in the NFL again.
He got on the owner's bad side.
And so that's what it looked like with the draft with Shedeur. And then I also like everybody's talking about Shedeur, but his brother Shiloh too was having the same thing done to him.
Now, I'm going to have to pull back on that one, Josh.
You said he ain't that good?
Nah.
He went to the NFL. You got to be some kind of good.
What do you mean he went to the NFL?
He got drafted.
When?
He got drafted for the the Bucks. No, one went to the Bucks, one went to the Browns.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that, but based off of, again, we're going over skill.
Where did Shedeur go to? Because he went fifth round. He went to
the Browns.
He went to the Browns. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So Shiloh went to the Bucks.
Okay.
I only know that because I follow him on social media.
I got you. But I think, again, his draft position had nothing to do with his brother's draft position.
Not at all?
No. The message to the Sanders family was sent to Shedeur. That's that. Shiloh, I think he got drafted based off of his skill.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to pull up let me see. It won't let me. I'm gonna say it won't let me, but I'm trying to figure out who have the Browns selected. And we just look at the guys. Let's see. To kind of try to justify why was he not picking earlier. Let me see.
And I guess that's the joke that was cracked, right? When Shiloh was saying, if they doing this to Shedeur,
as far as you
that's what they gonna do to me. And they started laughing, I guess, so they know about the talent. Like, okay, boy, you good, but you ain't top 3 draft round pick good.
All right, so first round pick, Cleveland, Mason Graham, defensive tackle. Okay, I can get that. Mm-hmm. And I was saying with him, the interesting backstory. Unfortunately, his mom was sick, and
is he the one where his mother passed away
right
as soon
after,
as he got drafted?
Yeah, right after he went after he got drafted, he went back and told her, you know, I got drafted or whatever, and she passed. So
She hung around to see that.
all right, I give Cleveland.
That boy gonna be a dog.
Yes, he got a chip on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I
He
give
gonna be
them,
a
you know,
dog.
the benefit of the doubt. All right, you didn't want to take Shedeur first round. Cool. Second round, linebacker Carson Schweinsteiger from UCLA. Not really familiar with him, so I'm not going
Right.
to say, you know, he's not qualified to be a second round pick. All right, cool. Third round, running back Quishon Judkins.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. No, I'm saying second. I'm sorry, that was the second pick in the second round. So they had 2 picks in the second round. Third round, tight end Harold Fannin. This is where it gets sticky. Third round, second pick, 94 overall, quarterback Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel had a great college career. Transferred a couple of different places, ended up at Oregon. But there's no way you telling me he's better than Shedeur Sanders.
No, sir. Man, I saw some videos.
No way you telling me that.
Right. Like,
So what's the justifiable reason? Then okay, you didn't pick him after that. You let that pick go, and then you
so
selected
who you got
in the fourth round another running back, Dylan Sampson from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth round, finally picked 144, Shedeur Sanders. Fifth round. This boy was projected a first round, if not top 5, or top 5, definitely first round at the NFL draft. And as we talked earlier, in the coming of the draft, all the commercials, all the marketing and advertising, he was involved in all of it.
Yep. Now
So
watch
the
this.
NFL, they milked his presence, like you said, from the NIL name,
Yep.
image, and likeness. If
So it's
people not familiar with it, they milked all of that to their benefit.
Yeah.
Then to prove a point to him by not drafting him as soon as he thought, or as soon as most people
They
thought.
continue
he
to
was.
milk it. So like, here, now I'm gonna flip it. Now I'm
Okay.
gonna flip it when you say
All
two,
right.
two things can be
Be true.
possible.
Yeah,
Right?
let's let it
Now I'm
ride.
gonna flip it. Or it could possibly been this, that they knew and they marketed it just right. Because don't nobody watch all the way to the fifth round draft.
Of course.
Don't nobody watch that. After the third, nobody watches. You know what I'm saying? They had the most people watching this year. They had like some of their highest numbers this year, all because of Shedeur.
Shedeur.
And so maybe they were all in on it. Maybe he went to one of the teams that his father would be cool with him playing for, but they wanted to also prove the point, make him sweat a little bit.
And I
So,
can see that.
like, okay, we all in on this, but
I
by
can see
third
that.
round, you know, we need to have this squared away. He can go play for one of these teams that I want him to play for. I can hear Deion saying that. We all gonna make some money. Y'all gonna get your ratings and all this sort of stuff. He's still gonna get to play, and then they make him sweat a little bit longer. What was that gum commercial? Make it last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Man, they make them sweat a little bit longer, and so then you got to see the realness of like, oh, they really trying to play in my face.
They are.
They really trying
They
to play in
are.
people's faces, and so like they held out, made him go fifth. I think if there is any possibility that this was all a planned thing for marketing, I think the NFL still took it too far. I still think they went beyond what they may have agreed to if there was an agreement.
But I mean, you again, we just think about who the NFL, who they are as far as a collection of owners or whatever.
Man, sometimes things happen to make you feel like
But listen though, what is going too far to them?
Kaepernick.
There ain't no going too far.
Were you
for them.
not coming at all? You're not coming back?
When you make the rules, there ain't no going too
Right.
far. Because you can always make another rule, or as they say, move the goalposts, and that's
Every time.
literally what they've done.
Every time.
As I get back to the Archie Manning or whatever, what's the difference in regards to his approach to Deion's approach?
Nothing. Corporate color.
Complexion for the protection.
And so like that's problematic for me because people make it like that's not a thing. But if you talk to anybody who is black or brown, they'll tell you it's a thing. There's
It's
a
very
such
much
thing as
so.
corporate color.
It's very much so.
And so it's two things at the same time.
But it's one of them things that, of course, you know, we've, as far as I was raised and taught, you can't let that stop you from doing
No, you
whatever
can't,
it is
but
that you're trying to do.
but
you
it
gotta
does make you
recognize
feel
it.
a certain kind of
'Cause
way.
you're right. You got to recognize it. It's there. There's no denying it. So
And like I saw a IG post with Shedeur where he was talking to one of his opponents from college. He told him, he said, "Yeah, you that same end to be talking on social media." And he was like, "Yeah, I whooped your." And he was like, "Oh, okay, buddy, keep talking." And he was hobbling off the field like they really worked him over and stuff. And so like that that's the type of energy that he should have going into the NFL.
I think
For every team that did not draft him,
he has an ultimate chip on his shoulder.
for
I
every
think he
team
will
that was
use this
throwing
to
shade, for
fuel him
everybody who
to be better.
held out and didn't want to make a choice before a choice was made.
And it's, as we've learned in life, man, everything happens for a reason. And I think about just pointing back to when adversity comes and how you handle it. And my growing up ultimate example of somebody handling adversity was Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You know, I was lucky enough to grow up.
Man, that was a time right there.
When he became the GOAT, the real GOAT.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that in regards to the fact of the first few years of him going up against Detroit, he was getting his shit handed to him. And it was tough to watch because it was like, man, it was like nothing he could do. It's just like he just keep fighting, but yet he's still getting knocked, just can't beat that one. It's like the bully, the ultimate bully story. Like, I'm gonna keep fighting, but this bully just keep whooping on me and coming out on top. And then eventually
That one year he said,
enough.
"We ain't losing to them no more."
Enough. And from that point on, he became who we know. And it's like, did he need that adversity? I think the Detroit Pistons was exactly what God put in place in front of Jordan to
make
help him
him-
become
to make
who
him
he
become.
is. Like, yeah, I got a bully that's gonna get the best out of you. And when that
Yeah.
best come out of you, ain't nobody gonna be able to see you. Nobody.
He said,
You see the
Yeah, that
nobody.
Yeah, so
Never lost, in the words of LeVar Ball.
Right, never lost. And he's another person. Like, to mention,
Okay,
like,
so, and
a father playing a big
I'm
role.
glad you brought that up because here it again.
Yeah.
You have two fathers, LeVar
and LeBron.
and not LeBron. We not talking about
Because
him. I'm talking
Bronny,
about-
like, they did Bronny the
Right, but
same
we
way.
talking about Dion, but let's talk about Dion because we don't want to get on the nepotism. We talking about
Nepotism is definitely a thing.
we are, but we talking about. I was not to say LeBron hasn't done it, but let's look at how LeVar and Dion have positioned their kids to, reach the level of stardom that they reached. Like, there's no denying the talent. There's still a jury out on Bronny. Shedeur,
Boy was dropping some buckets.
stay on task, please. Stay on
He was
task.
dropping some buckets.
Stay on task. Shedeur.
You don't think that's the same conversation?
No. Shedeur, like I said.
We're going to revisit that one. Y'all can expect a full show on this one.
But I'm saying with Shedeur, guaranteed talent. You see it right there.
sure.
The two of the three of the Ball brothers, and nothing to just say to deny that they were going to be who they were going to be.
Yeah.
You have two fathers outspoken, letting it be known, hey, y'all not going to take advantage of my kids. I'm going to try to place my kids or help put them in a position where they're going to be successful. And now how that's frowned upon as far as it's too brash, and they basically are going against the system of what was already in place and doing something different. There's going to be backlash.
Yeah. Well, and I think the industries both get mad when you have guys and fathers like that because there's a certain naiveness that they need you to have to make money off you when you first come in the league.
That also bucks what we've been fed as a society as far as how black dads are deadbeats, and majority of them
It don't fit the narrative.
It don't fit the narrative. Aren't in the kid's picture. But then when you see two outspoken black fathers, that's a problem too. So it's like, which one is it? Is it two things can be true?
Yeah.
We want you to be, or we want to look like you're not existing, but at the same time, if you're there, we don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, you supposed to have your head down, be thankful that you're here.
Every day is supposed to be a
either
humble,
you deserve to be there or you don't.
And what's wrong with me saying
And
if I believe
like
that
this.
I belong there?
Yeah, and it's like Obama said it best in a podcast with The Pivot. He said, "Don't let anybody make you feel like you shouldn't be in the room and stuff." And so when you know that you should be in a room, then you should walk and act like that. Because there's a whole lot of people that's in rooms they shouldn't be in.
Being facts.
And so, like, when you're talented enough to be somewhere,
Facts.
like, hold that space and don't be apologetic about holding that space. Like, let me be a good athlete. I'm gonna let you know that I'm good until you show me otherwise.
Now, say that don't mean I don't respect my opponent and and I don't take the game serious or anything of that nature. But again, like, yeah, I'm not gonna let your uncomfortableness with my greatness succumb to what you feel like I should be like. Nah.
And so like that's what happens to black and brown people all the time and stuff. And that's what I feel like happened with the NFL with this draft. I feel like attempts at that have been like even in the NBA. And there are certain times where you just feel like things are getting better because you don't hear certain conversations and you don't hear or see the blatant racism or inherent bias, that sort of stuff. Like you don't see it for a while, and then something like this happens, you're like, oh,
it's a reminder.
Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah,
ain't nothing changed.
Back at square one to
and stuff. And then like we're living in a day and time now where they've done away with DEI programs and that sort of thing. And so like that went away, and I was like, okay, that was just an executive order. Maybe the people don't feel like this, but then you have certain things. 32 teams all in cahoots to make sure that this great quarterback didn't go the route he was supposed to go, trying to make him feel like he's less than some of these other players, like he's not equipped or talented enough or great enough to go when he should have went. It's like, oh, we're going to humble him and stuff. Like, that's the sort of stuff, those jabs, those, like when I was coming up, they say picking. Stuff like that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
we still live in a day and time where they can all agree to blacklist somebody.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of that conversation, and we just.
I want to hear from y'all.
Would like to say, appreciate if you would put in the comment section like what.
Go ahead and comment, share,
in regards
subscribe
to the NFL and their message that they sent to.
Shedeur.
The Sanders and really anybody else who bucks the system and goes against what they feel is appropriate behavior for a draft pick.
So, holla at us.
Yep.
We'll be back with another episode. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Real quick. We not done yet. We got
another one.
We got one subject. We gonna bring.
Well, let's
to
keep
you
it rolling
guys
then.
A new part of our.
We was just taking a
podcast. Go ahead.
Well, we was just taking a little break then. We was just playing.
Yeah, we was. This section is going to be entitled Unserious Commentary. That's what it was. Unserious. I was like, not an unpopular opinion. It's unserious commentary.
So here's the part of the show where it's about to get funny.
We hope so, because it was funny to us. I mean, you
about
laugh
to get
if you
funny.
want, but I'm going to laugh.
So, Tony, you had a question.
I didn't have a question. I wanted to pose to you something that I saw on the internet as of late.
He asked the question, and I started to answer. He said, no, save it.
The subject at hand was proposed in a tweet where a young man said he believes that 100 guys can take on one gorilla. And so my question to Josh was, what are your thoughts on, he was like, at one time or it don't matter. Do you think 100 guys can take on one gorilla?
And my answer was going to be this. I got 6 brothers. And I guarantee you we'll whoop that gorilla's ass. 6. Yo, we don't need 100. 6. Just 6. And if it got to be feet and fists, we can get that done. And if you let us bring some bricks and sticks, it's really going to get done.
And so with that being said, as I'm laughing, I've saw
Boy.
plenty of different comments of people saying how they propose to take on a gorilla.
Facts.
It wasn't until I saw a video of this gentleman explaining to me the physical makeup of a gorilla and the power that one gorilla possesses.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, Josh, after knowing really how strong...
We just got to coordinate how we're going to attack.
Man, listen. After hearing or really recognizing how strong the gorilla is, okay, you got that in mind. Tell me what happens when you see the gorilla snap the first nigga in half. What are you gonna do?
I can listen. This is my brother's too, so I already know this is what's happening right here.
See, now you
This is what's
cheating.
happening right
Now
here.
you cheating.
Boy, we
This
breaking
is-
all the rules.
This is fists and feet,
Boy.
hand to hand.
Now, there's
Combat.
now listen. There's something
No blickies.
right. There's something to be said,
No
right?
bats.
Okay.
No knives.
Now,
Fists. The gorilla don't got no gun. The gorilla can't use
now think about
any
this.
type of object. No,
So,
answer my question.
I'm about to.
What do you do when you see him crush somebody's skull?
It's fight or flight. It's fight or flight. And so depending on how many people running away, we might need that 100.
What do you mean dependent? Why would you even entertain the possibility?
Now listen.
Skull crushed.
Dude, listen.
Why?
For the right amount of money, we're gonna keep on fighting. Let that bag be big enough. We're gonna keep on fighting. We're gonna get all our houses paid for and have some cars. Yeah, Ricky can't walk no more.
See, this is the unserious part of the commentary
no.
because niggas always think they can do something.
Yes.
No
We'll
matter
buy him a new leg.
How ridiculous.
Yeah. Get you a titanium arm.
They
Yes.
will come up with a perceived plan
Yeah.
of action. Bruh.
Man, look.
I'm telling you. The first
Here's the-
person that you see getting mangled,
Yeah, you gotta have a look.
it's gonna change your whole perspective.
Like now I'm gonna talk like Eric Thomas. What's your why? What's your why? Your why gotta be big enough. What's your why?
Man, it's because I don't want to be sitting like a vegetable in the hospital.
Hey, somebody might have to take that for the team.
Why? That's the
We're gonna get you the best wheelchair. We're gonna get you the best of everything once we make this thing happen.
You gonna be drinking.
You drink out the best straws.
Stanley for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you get the best Stanley.
Good.
Hey, for the right amount of money, we might even own Stanley.
Oh man, because I wonder. I wish I would have brought the video, but Buddy, the scientist, he basically explained if
So-
that gorilla head bunch you, it's gonna cave in.
So you talk
So
about
many bones in your face.
I ain't seen the video.
I'm gonna bring it up.
So-
because you got to see it. I was just like, niggas don't really understand how ridiculous it is to think.
So that's why
you
they
gonna
said
fight
100.
a gorilla.
So you think 100 guys can't get it done?
Bro, again.
Let me get 100 YNs from Chicago.
Again, how many niggas are you gonna have to see snapped in half before you be like, this is not working?
Okay. Let me give you this
This is
example.
not it.
Let me give you this kind of serious example, okay?
This is not
So,
it.
once upon a time I was a police officer, right? And so it's like whoever had to go first.
Hold on. You really think 6 of y'all?
Maybe not six. I might have to get an NFL line. Maybe six of them, right?
Oh,
But,
man. The supreme confidence some ninjas have, boy.
and look, in my head,
Sell it in the jar.
in my head, right? In my head, we had a regular sized gorilla. He wasn't even a silverback.
It don't matter. It's a gorilla.
Maybe I'm underestimating the strength of a
You
gorilla.
are. Man.
Maybe.
Again, because humans, we don't really understand where we are on the food chain when it comes to wild animals.
You know why we don't?
Why?
We up the pole.
Exactly. I'm not talking about if you got a blicky or any other type of object. I'm talking about your fists and your feet.
All right, look.
Man.
Now we're gonna pose this to the people. We're gonna pose this to the people.
Man.
Okay. What's
needed
that
that
right
laugh.
amount of money that'll have you out here trying to fight a gorilla? What's your number? What's your number? I got a number. I got it. I don't care what I see ahead of me. I got a number.
I hope it's enough to fund your gun. You don't need a GoFundMe afterwards.
It's gonna be finance or funeral.
There you go. That's where it's going.
There's a certain amount, where I'm going anyway.
Or the Shady Palms retirement home.
So what's that number for?
Rest of your life.
You ain't giving it a shot at all?
Hell no.
No, for no amount.
No.
Man.
No, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I got stolen on by a gorilla, but I'm still what? No.
Hey, I ain't gonna say this is equivalent, but it's like people getting in the ring with Mike Tyson. Like what's that amount you gonna get in there for?
Again, I can estimate to an extent the strength of a human, a gorilla.
And is this like the strongest human?
Man, I don't care. Again, humans truly underestimate where they are at on the food chain.
Now look, I got something that I won't go search now. I gotta search it up now.
I mean, I love the E40 line. If you see me in a fight with a bear, don't help me help the bear.
Help the bear.
That's all good for rhymes and music.
He said rhymes and music. Hey,
in real life, you're gonna get mauled.
I need to go to the zoo now. Get some facts, huh?
Oh man.
Yeah, shoot.
Oh.
Hey, we gonna keep this one going.
I got a lightweight headache, bro.
You laugh so hard you got a headache?
Yeah. So again, from now on, we will be providing the unserious commentary. And I mean, if you got some unserious commentary you would like us to share, please. But
send it to us.
Again, in the comment section, what do you think your chances would be with 99 other people versus a gorilla?
Y'all let us know. Until next time, this has been King's Chat.
We out.